Rose.
Hi.
And today I'm going to be telling y'all about my current, hyper special interest, UMAMUSUME Pretty Derpy.
Yay!
So you might be wondering, Annie, what even is UMAMUSUME? It just feels like it just popped up out of nowhere over the past 6 months or so, and I've never heard of it before. So what is it? Well, UMAMUSUME Pretty Derpy is a multimedia franchise owned by the Japanese video game studio Cygames. And Cygames has made a couple other things in the past. To my knowledge, none of them have been as popular as UMAMUSUME, at least overseas. Maybe things like Grand Blue and Shadowverse are a little bit more popular in Japan. But to my knowledge, UMAMUSUME is their most profitable project. I have no idea what kind of games Grand Blue and Shadowverse are. I don't know if they're MMOs or other gacha games or whatever. Yeah, but again, UMAMUSUME is their most popular and most profitable IP. So also Cygames owns their own in-house animation studio. So it's not like they go to Mappa or Bones or something for their animes. They make it all in-house.
That's awesome.
So they have control over everything, which I think is really cool. And they also have sponsored real life horse races. There's a race within the Breeders' Cup. I think it's one of the sprints, and the alternate name for it is the Cygames Sprint. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, they're kind of like a weird sugar daddy in the racing world in a way. So UMAMUSUME Pretty Derpy is based on the real life careers and accomplishments of real Japanese racehorses. It would be like if you put Secretariat into an anime and made him an anime girl. That's kind of the analogy that I use because I feel like we all know Secretariat. Yeah. It would be like if Secretariat was in a sports anime and Sham was his big rival in the sports anime kind of thing. To kind of equate it to something that you might understand. The stories in the anime and the game follow the real life horse. In the anime, they would race all the same races that the horse did, and their personalities are inspired by little quirks and stuff that the real horse had, or sometimes by their jockeys. Tia Mapra-O, who's the horse up there, she's very kind of I'm better than everyone kind of personality, and that comes from her jockey, or the real life horse's jockey. So it can kind of be from the horse or the jockey, or even the trainer sometimes. So how does this all start? UMAMUSUME was announced to be a mobile game in 2016 by Cygames. However, it did not come out until 2021, and it only released in Japan. There wasn't a global release, and it's kind of been a trickle-down effect where it came out in Japan, and then a year later it came out in China, a year later it came out in Korea, Taiwan, and now it's in global. So kind of every year it's had another regional release. So in the time between 2016 and 2021, other projects have been released to kind of, build up hype for the game, because the game is the main thing. The anime and everything is all just a bonus for the game in a way. But the game is kind of the major flagship property. It's the main thing that they're working on. And it is available on mobile and Steam. This is the plug to go and download UMAMUSUME and play it. So how do you play it? What is the game like? It is a roguelite. Sorry, I forgot how to say it for a second. A roguelite gacha game where you train 5 different skills and participate in races over the course of your career. So as you can see, you've got these 5 little skills down here. You have speed, stamina, power, guts, and wit. You train those over the course of a 3-year-long career in game to raise the stats and make your horse girl the fastest horse girl, the strongest horse girl there is. You can learn skills to help her in the races. Every turn takes energy, so it's also kind of like an energy conservation thing. It gets very in-depth. I'm pretty deep in the meta of the game. I'm a little bit of a UMA meta slave. And yeah, it's kind of hard to understand if you like don't have the game open in front of you, kind of thing. But yeah. You can boost your skills and your performance in your career using support cards, which are the things on the right. They're support cards corresponding to every stat you can train. It's like if you have a full deck of speed cards, then you're basically only training speed. It helps you boost your speed up faster, etc. And then there's also a gacha for the actual horse girls. So you get a standard pool of UMAs whenever you start the game, but you can spend like the gacha currency on either horse girls or cards. If you want to have like stronger horse girls, you should spend on cards, but most people are like, well, I just want more UMAs, so they pull on UMAs. It's kind of like, do you value the meta more, or do you value like the characters and the story more, kind of thing. I'm a mix of both because I like big number to appear on screen, so I pull for a lot of support cards, but I also like my UMAs. In the nature of a roguelike, UMAMUSUME, it's a very difficult game at first, which you kind of wouldn't expect. Like for the first month or so of me playing, maybe 2 weeks, I failed all my careers because that's what is kind of supposed to happen at first. Because you have really bad cards, you have really bad UMAs, and it kind of gets easier as you progress because then you can get more things to help you progress in the game, kind of thing. That's kind of the nature of a roguelike. Like Dark Souls is a roguelike where it's really hard, you just have to keep throwing yourself at it until you get a lucky run and and then that makes it easier for it. And then these are all the these are all the different like ratings and stuff. Right now in the global server, which I play on, we have only cracked the UG rank. So all of these are pretty much Japanese server exclusive ranks. There's even more ratings above this now as of a recent update to global. There's like an L rank now you can get. It's crazy.
Ironic.
Yeah. And only with the most recent career have we started getting S ranks consistently.
So what does the ranks mean? Like an UMA to reach that rank?
Yeah. So the higher your stats, the higher your rating is going to be at the end of your career.
Okay.
So
it's like the height of your career in general.
Yes.
Would be, okay.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of your career, it kind of tallies up everything you did from stats to skills to how many races you've won, and it gives you this rating. It's based on a number, like a number margin. But like if you come down here and you look at these skills right here, if you get 3 triple S's in one of these skills, it'll probably be like a UG rank. But if you only get B's in all those skills,
so they stack up and it's a total score.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Out of like number of races you've won, the threshold of your stats, and also how many skills you've learned over the career.
Okay, cool.
I wish that I had like a game that I could compare it to, but like truly I've never played a game like UMAMUSUME.
It's very unique.
Yes, it is very unique and very weird, and I'm sure that it doesn't resonate with a lot of people because it's so weird. I just have gotten so sucked into it that it's amazing. And you can also not only digest it through the game, you can watch the anime too. Did you have a question?
I was just gonna say, very fun fact, that's actually more true to equestrian sports because we are ranked by letters.
Oh, cool.
So
wait, do you do equestrian sports?
I used to be an equestrian.
Oh my god, well I feel like a chud, like I feel like I'm in the choir. Oh my god. Please, like, if I get anything wrong about real horse racing, like,
I will not
stand up and be like, you are wrong.
No. I will not like, yeah. So that I got excited when you saw that because that is genuinely how we get graded is by letters. So, yeah.
So yeah. Again, it currently has 4 servers. I mentioned this earlier. Japan was first. I don't remember the order that the Korea and the Taiwanese servers came out, but they're a little bit ahead of the global server. And then we have the global server, which is like everybody else. Global came out last year in July. So we're kind of coming up on the 1-year anniversary of global, which is crazy because it doesn't feel like it's been out for a year. But yeah, we are currently like 3 years behind the Japanese server because it doesn't, like we start at the beginning and they're all the way here in 2026. So the global server is on like an accelerated schedule to try and catch up to the Japanese servers. So our events don't last as long as theirs did when they first had them, kind of. Have any of y'all played Project Sekai?
Yes.
It's like how the English server of Project Sekai is behind the Japanese server by like about a year.
Okay, I've only played it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not that deep into it. My friend got me into it for like a year, but I didn't know much about like the outside of the game.
I gotcha. And about every 3 months, at least 3 months for the global community, we get a new scenario, which completely changes how you play the game. So the first scenario was like the most basic of basic. You just train the stats and you run in a race every couple races, and you have a set schedule of races where you can race in between if you want, but there's like, these are the races that you have to do and there's no getting around them. This is the UI for the Unity Cup scenario, which was the second one. I know it looks like rocket science, and when you first play a new career, it feels like rocket science, especially, so I do play on the Japanese server, and if you don't use like a translation mod, everything is in Japanese. Thank God there's translation mods, because otherwise, like, I would feel like that one gif of Tony Stark, like moving all the holograms and stuff. But Unity Cup was a team-based scenario where you would be training a whole team of horse girls. It's not as complicated as it seems, actually. You have like scheduled team races twice a year in your career, because the career is 3 years long, so you have 6 scheduled team races, stuff like that. And this is a really bad quality picture of the current scenario, which is called Track Blazer, where you basically just race as much as you possibly can. So you might look at this schedule and be like, okay, that looks kind of normal. Usually in like the first scenario, you would have like 4 races in a year. And now you have like 35 in your whole career. So people call this the horse abuse scenario, because you're just constantly racing your horse and making her feel like awful. Because if you race too much, then you get like a negative effect, and you just
have to maintain their emotions too.
Yes.
Wait, I read that.
Oh.
Look. So.
Oh, did I miss that?
Up here you have like a mood. So normal is like the baseline one, then you can go up to good, and then the best one is great. Then you can also go down to bad and awful. So depending on what you do or what your horse girl does, your mood can decrease. And then again, this is an energy bar. So if you have a greater failure or a greater chance to fail your training if your energy is low. So it's also an energy conservation simulator thing. So you have to juggle all of these things at the same time. This scenario has a shop where you can buy different things that can like boost your trainees' energy without taking a whole turn to rest. You can buy things to improve their mood, etc., etc. You can buy things to improve their stats without actually training a stat. It's a whole thing. I really like Track Blazer because it makes the big number appear on the screen, and I like the big numbers. But yeah, this one is literally just, you barely train, you only race, because the current meta is to use support cards that increase the stats you get from completing races, basically. Yeah. So, moving on more to like the actual characters and less away from the game. So, Umas are based on real life races performed in Japan. The personalities are based off of their real horses' behavior and sometimes their jockeys. And the main colors of their racing outfits are based off of their jockeys' racing silks. And Uma's personality and identity is also determined by their real life progeny, like who they're related to. And even elements of their name and stuff like that also corresponds to like who their roommates are.
They have roommates?
Yes!
Do they even live in like a big old house or an apartment or something?
So they all go to basically like a boarding school kind of thing. I think I
wait, that
mentioned it in
makes
the next
sense.
slide.
Oh wait, I played the beginning, I think I remember. When she's like, welcome to the academy.
Yes, so
I
like
remember.
Saturn Diamond here, our little example, is in the school uniform for Trayson Academy. So
Oh, cute.
I go more into the school, I think in the next slide, or maybe the next 2 slides. But like, for example, this little graphic here is showing, so this is Stay Gold, and then in real life, these are all of Stay Gold's kids, and in UMA, they're just like all like best friends. I go more into how families work in another slide. It's kind of a whole kit and caboodle. The UMAs attend Trayson Academy, which is a specialized school specifically for training UMAs to race in the Twinkle series, which is like, they always say Twinkle series and they never define what Twinkle series is. It's just kind of like the big racing thing in Japan, I guess. There are other classes if you don't want to go to Trayson just to learn how to run or whatever. Like we've seen UMAs go there for like to learn how to train or manage someone else. But like 95% of the characters that we see on screen are at Trayson to run, to race, to go into the Twinkle series. Trayson is kind of like a weird combination of both a boarding school, a high school, and a college because character ages span from middle-aged woman to baby. Because some people at Sci Games have gone on record saying that the UMAs age like elves. So they don't really have defined ages.
Sure. Okay.
Which understandably can kind of be a little ooh at times. Because I get it. Because why is this 40-year-old woman who like talks with 70s slang and owns a 70s car going to school with an actual preschooler? I wish I could give you an answer. I really wish I could give you an answer because it is so funny that like all of these UMAs who look like grown women, like into their 30s and 40s, are going to are in a school uniform. Like, girl, what are you doing? But yeah, here is a more in-depth kind of breakdown of how an UMAMUSUME design works. I have another slide that I actually think is a better example than this. I'm going to get up to point things out. So here we have real-life Gentle Donna. Here's UMA Gentle Donna. And as you can see, this is the jockey's racing silks, and that is what her design is based off of. So she has the black, the red, and the yellow from the jockey silks. Typically, if a horse was larger or more muscular, that correlates to a larger chest in UMAs.
It's a choice.
At the end of the day, this is an anime. Like, and you know that one Family Guy clip where it's like Peter Griffin, he's like, there's nothing I can do about the sun. There's nothing I can do about the weird anime choices. Hi! There's nothing I can do about the weird anime choices that they make. I'm sorry. And a really cool thing is that you can actually tell what gender a horse was in real life depending on their ear decorations. So as you can see here, Gentle Donna has her little ear decoration on her left ear. Like it's right to us, but it's on her left ear. And that means that she was a mare in real life. She was a female horse. And then also sometimes they'll have different colored shoes because like a horse will have like a sock, quote unquote. Like they'll have one white hoof and one black hoof. So if you ever see UMAs with different colored shoes, that's why they probably had like different colored feet.
That's cool.
This is actually a better example of an UMAMUSUME design. So again, you can see the jockey silks right here. He has on green, white, and red. His little red armband is covered up, my bad. And then as you can see, she has an earring on her right ear, which means that she was a male horse in real life. So some Umas are a little bit more like hard to tell. Like there's one Uma who has bows on both of her ears. Agnes Digital has bows on both of her ears. And like people are just like, oh, it's just like it's the one with the red bow or whatever, I can't remember. And like, but the one exception to this is an Uma named Fan-mont. She has flowers on both of her ears because the original horse was intersex, which I think is really cool. That doesn't come up in her like character story at all. It's just a cool design choice.
I didn't know that happened with horses. That's so interesting.
Yeah. And she has 7 medals on her coat because she has 7 wins, 7 graded race wins, and then her kind of main hair color matches her coat color. This kind of darker part matches her main color, and then most Umas, if they had like a forehead blaze, like a white mark on their forehead, they'll have some sort of white swoop in their hair or something like that.
I love the attention to detail.
Uma character design makes me crazy because I love it so much. It's just so much fun, and it's also fun seeing people use these kinds of parameters to make their own fan Umas of other horses. Like earlier I showed that picture of a fan drawing of a Secretariat Uma. I just think it's so much fun because they give you all of these like cool guidelines that you can follow, and it's just really interesting to me. So how does real horse racing work? Because to understand Uma, you do need to have a little bit of knowledge about real horse racing. I'm not going to go super into it because it can get kind of weird and confusing very quickly, but we're going to go over 2 things. How races are graded, and also a horse's progeny, and how progeny works in the realm of UMAMUSUME. So the JRA in Japan actually works very closely with Sai Games. Like I mentioned earlier, Sai Games kind of has an in the racing world. Like they pay for a lot of things, and in return, the JRA lets them kind of go wild with a lot of the horses that they own the rights to, etc. So there is a kind of grade system when it comes to races, and for the most part, this is accurate worldwide. Like the whole world uses this grade system, at least to my knowledge. So the best of the best races, the most important ones are G1s, which would be like the Kentucky Derby here in the States. A G2 is still really impressive that you won it. It's just not as not as good as G1. And same thing with G3, still really cool but not good as a G1 or a G2. There's an OP race, which is kind of like a opening race. There's a pre-op race, which like the opening races don't have any effect on like a horse's stats or standings in real life, to my knowledge. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
You're doing great.
Okay, awesome. And then they also have their maiden debut races, which are kind of self-explanatory. It's just their first race. Again, to put this into perspective, Kentucky Derby is a G1 race here in the States. Same with Belmont Stakes, Preakness Stakes. I think the Santa Anita Derby is also a G1. Okay.
I think they do the same thing in swimming. I just forget what exactly they call it. But yeah, with like heats, like if you're in heat 1, you're the fastest. Heat 2, you're the second fastest. So I'm always in like heat 3 or 4. Even worse, maybe 5. But it's very similar.
Yeah. So just like the Triple Crown here in the States, which are the Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, and Preakness Stakes, Japan also has their own Triple Crown, which is kind of like, in all the animes and all the games, like all the characters are always like, oh, but I want to win the Triple Crown, because the Triple Crown is like the pinnacle of what you can do in Japanese racing. So the races for the Japanese Triple Crown are the Satsuki Show, Japanese Derby, and the Kikuwa Show. And here are all of the Triple Crown winners that have won that are in UMAMUSUME. There are more that have won, they're just not in UMA yet. So here we have Narita Bryan, Mr. CB, Simbali Rudolph, Saint Light, who won the first Triple Crown in 1941. I don't know why they were running the frickin' Triple Crown in the middle of World War II, but by God they were. And then Orfevre, who is the most, Orfevre is the most recent Triple Crown winner that's in UMAMUSUME. Contrail won it in 2021, I believe, but Contrail is not in UMA yet. And here's for the ladies. So the Triple Crown has a female equivalent called a Triple Tiara. It's kind of hard to explain. So basically, only mares can compete in Triple Tiara races, but mares can compete for the Triple Crown. There was a horse named Vodka who almost won the Triple Crown. Yes, her name is Vodka, and she's in here, and she's awesome, and she's a lesbian. And she was one of the first mares to get really, really close to winning a Triple Crown, which has never happened before. A mare has never won the Triple Crown. But of course, plenty of mares have won the Triple Tiara because that's their whole thing. Triple Tiara is the Oka show, the Japanese Oaks, and the Shuka show. And here are all of the Umas that are in UMAMUSUME that have won it. This is Mejiro Romanu. She won the first Triple Tiara. Gentle Donna, Still in Love, Almond Eye, and Daring Tact. And they're my girls. I love them. And now we have to go on to progeny. So progeny is like a horse's ancestors, who they're related to. I'm sure you know that, like, horse breeding is a really big thing, obviously. Part of the reason why Secretariat was so amazing was because he produced so many amazing children. So successful racehorses often produce successful children. So breeding is a huge industry. Most of the horses in the world are inbred because of this. A lot of thoroughbreds, most thoroughbreds are very inbred. Once again, there is nothing I can do about the sun. This doesn't come up at all in UMAMUSUME. I just hope to address that. For example, in 2025, every single runner in the Kentucky Derby was a descendant of Secretariat.
Wow.
So, like, pretty much, if you go to any thoroughbred in the United States right now, somewhere in their progeny, they are probably related to Secretariat. Hence the inbreeding thing. So Japan has a very similar culprit to Secretariat, and it is this goddamn horse. This is Sunday Silence, my arch nemesis.
Why?
He's everywhere.
He's an icon.
As you can see, this is an incomplete chart of every UMAMUSUME he is related to.
Oh my.
As of the publishing of this thing, Admire Groove has been put into UMA, and Epiphanea has been put into UMA. So you can kind of get a feel for how dominant Sunday Silence was. He wasn't even that spectacular of a racehorse. He just somehow produced all of these freaking freaks.
My man.
He wasn't even that good.
And then a really cool addendum is that Epiphanea right here, who was only announced to be a real UMA like a month ago, she is the first UMA to be the child of two existing UMAs that are already in the game. So she's the daughter of Simbali, Chris S, and Cesario, who you can see are both UMAs. So she's the first character to be like a canon child of a couple in UMAMUSUME. I'm putting air quotes because like none of this is actually real in the actual game or anime or whatever story. I just think that's cool. And this is how the progeny works in regards to UMA. So UMAs who share the same father are not officially related in UMAMUSUME. They have no relation to each other. Nada. It only matters if you share a mom. So for example, Special Week and Silent Susuka right here, they are both children of Sunday Silence. However, they're just best friends. Well, we'll get to that. They're just really, 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 really good friends, wink, in the anime. But here we have the V sisters, Vivla, Cheval, and Roxina, who all share the same mother. And they're canonically blood-related sisters in the story. I think they're the only example of this. Measuros are kind of weird.
Some of the measures are really related, but some of them are
And
just
also, I forget what's going on with Brian and Haihide.
they're sisters.
They're sisters? Okay. And so they share a mother. So yeah. And now we get on to the stories of the actual anime seasons, which I feel like is much easier to digest than all of the weird game things I've been throwing at y'all. So, season 1 came out in 2018 during that kind of weird period when we were waiting for the mobile game to come out. So it follows mainly the stories of Special Week and Silent Suzuka, who were dominant in the mid-90s in the golden generation of racehorses. And supporting characters include El Condor Pasa, Grass Wonder, and Saiyan Sky. I wish with all my heart I could talk about all 150 plus Numas in this presentation, but I feel like that would get really old really fast. So I only kind of put the main players in each season. So like I was originally gonna put a whole page about Saiyan Sky, but then I was like, sorry Saiyan Sky, like
Gotta cut back.
yeah. So here is Special Week. I have like a page for each like kind of main Numa basically. So she is the main protagonist of the first season. She's a little country bumpkin girl. She grows up in Hokkaido, which is like that huge, big northern island of Japan close to Russia. And then she's like, well, I want to go race. So she goes to Trayson Academy. There she meets Silent Suzuka and all of her friends there. And he was just a really good freaking racehorse, man. He won 4 G1s, which is really good. Because like the 90s generation was insane. So if you were winning any G1, you were kind of the ish, basically. And she really looked up to Silent Suzuka, who is right here. They're best friends, they're roommates. And Special Week just kind of idolizes her, and it's very cute. This is Suzuka. She's the deuteragonist of season 1. She's seen as kind of this like amazing, like prodigy, talented horse girl. Like she's gonna go on to do great things. She wants to go race in America. She's kind of idolized by the rest of the team. Speak of bless you. But then she is injured in a race in the latter half of season 1.
No.
In real life, Suzuka was euthanized on the track. This is, unfortunately, this will be very common. Hi! This will be very common. I have a whole kind of slide about this later.
So when a horse twists their ankle, they just kill it?
Because unless they're treated properly, most horses cannot survive if their leg is damaged.
Really?
It's like a...
It's very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because their legs are just like big toothpicks, like, at the end of the day.
Huh.
Like, it's... I go into it more on a slide near the end when I talk about more horses who unfortunately had fates like that.
I could not find this one.
No,
It's a terrible place to find.
I know. It's the most annoying place to find.
Oh my god, I have her. I'm literally. Oh my gosh, she's in my room right now.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
I'm jumping. I'm just gonna put that on the stand.
$10 the box. Oh my god. I'll watch. But luckily in the anime they don't like take Suzuka out behind the shed and shoot her.
Yeah,
that would be really funny. She is able to keep running with her friends. And that's what I love about Numa, because they kind of give a second life to all these horses that may not have had a great life in real life. They get to keep running and have a happy life.
Yay!
El Condor Pasa is one of the main supporting characters of season 1. She was a freaking crazy horse in real life. She went and raced in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe in France, which is like the race to end all races ever in the world. Japanese horse has never won it. They've gotten very close, or Febvre got second in, I believe, 2012. Closest they've ever gotten to it, because he lost by, I believe, a neck.
Nice.
Wow.
Or Febvre. They call her L in the anime, which, why are we calling her the?
Yeah.
Why are we calling her the?
Why not Pasa?
Right!
Or even, I think Condor is the noun here, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess L sounds like a name.
Well, if L is more.
Well, I
true.
can give a little Japanese context for you guys. Actually, they don't really romanize her as E-L like often. When they call her L, they call her literally L. Like literally like the letter L.
Oh,
like,
I see.
Edu sounds like just the letter L. So like if you look at she has this like solo song that's called like L's Surprise, and when I looked at the original Japanese of that, it just says L Sakuraizu. And I was like, who's that supposed to be? I was like, L. Oh my god, it's L Thunderfausa. That's so funny.
My friend also was very mad that I didn't include this, but she has a pet falcon, eagle, big bird named a condor. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Oh my god. You should be up here giving this up to me.
I'm enjoying.
And his name is Mambo. Not to be confused with Machikane Tannhauser, who's also called Mambo. We'll get to her. Yeah, I love Elle. And then we have Grass Wonder. Rest in peace, my beautiful queen. Real life Grass Wonder passed away last fall, I believe. Like literally right. He stayed around to make sure that Global was a success. Grass Wonder was also a really dominant horse in the 90s. Like, I'm kind of just reiterating the golden generation because like they were all just so impressive and so strong that like there's nothing I can really say else I can say about them. They were just all so dominant and so strong. I'm also including a lot of their like alt outfits that they get in the game because I think they're really cute, right? So this is like her normal outfit. This is her cleric outfit, and I believe this is her New Year's or festival outfit. I forget which one. And then like all the art from the support cards is just so cute. Like Uma has just such good art and character design. I love it. Oh my god! Okay, this is the most lesbian to ever lesbian. She is the greatest to ever do it. Okay, this is Vodka. This is the one that I mentioned earlier. She is the mare who won the Japanese Derby and was like, oh my god, is a mare going to win the Triple Crown? Unfortunately, she didn't, but she's awesome anyways. So Vodka was like freaking crazy. Like, again, with the 90s generation, all of them were crazy, but especially Vodka. She was freaking crazy. And she's just so cute. Like, look at her on her little moped. Are you kidding? Oh my god, I love her. And she is in a situationship with Daiwa Scarlet. So Scarlet was also a mare running at the same time as Vodka, and they were like huge rivals. Like the Vodka and Scarlet rivalry was a huge thing whenever they were racing together. So while Vodka went to go run the Triple Crown, Scarlet went to go run the Triple Tiara. Neither of them won them, unfortunately.
So they have matching wedding-ish pictures.
Right? Right?
What's that about?
I wonder whose wedding Vodka is on the way to see. But yes, she's like a lesbian and I love her.
I'm so sorry. I have to go do JCC now.
No, you're so good. I love you so much.
I love UMAMUSUME, guys. Hashtag love. Bye. I'm so sorry.
You know her. You know her even if you don't.
I've seen her most often.
Yes. This is Gold Ship. If I pulled up a video of her, you'd know her. She's the one who runs up to the camera and literally like kicks like this, kicks the camera.
Nice.
Why?
Yeah, because she feels like it. Literally.
The super expensive camera? No.
She's gonna kick that phone down.
No.
So Gold Ship is a bit of an outlier because she was a part of like a later generation of horses, but in real life, Gold Ship is a freaking menace. He was known to like bite people and kick people. And he was the culprit of the $12 billion yen incident, where 12 billion yen was bet on him to win a race. I forget which race it was. and he jumped at the gate and completely missed the gate opening and was like 3 seconds behind everyone because he jumped at the gate because he was just being Goldship. Like, you should look up, Goldship is still alive, he's still out there being a menace, he's awesome. You should look up videos of Goldship because he's amazing. Oh my god, this pisses me off. So, all those Umas that I just talked about were in teams, well, most of them were in Team Spica, which is like the main team that Special Week, Suzuka, Scarlet and Vodka and Goldship are all on. And their rival team is Team Rigel, who, I don't know what crack Cygames was smoking when they were making these teams, because this is the lineup that Team Rigel has. They have 2 Triple Crown winners. They have 1 undefeated Uma, went her whole career without being undefeated. 2 Umas who went a whole year undefeated, which is Opera and Darren Taft. They have the entire student council. They have both dorm heads. And as just a little cherry on top, they have Elle, Grass, and Taiki, who are also like part of that 90s golden generation. Everyone with authority and who was good is on this team. And also, Darren Taft is a Triple Tiara winner.
This is how I feel when I join a Splatoon 3 game.
Yes!
This is what the other team feels
yes, like. Yes! Exactly! Exactly. Everyone with authority and with power is on this team. There is nothing that Spica can do against this. Oh my god. Okay. Season 2! This is the one that people say is the best. I have opinions about that, but whatever. It centers around Tokoi Teo and Mejuro McQueen. Who, yeah.
The big blue one.
Oh, it's Twin Turbo.
Is she important?
No, she's cool. So basically, Teo just wants to be like Symboli Rudolph. Symboli Rudolph is one of the Triple Crown winners. In real life, Teo was Rudolph's kid. And yeah, it just centers it's like all the main seasons follow the same formula of like there's 2 protagonists and they want to go win the Triple Crown, basically. So this is Teo. She's a freaking cutie pie. She's the main character of season 2. You know how earlier we said that Suzuka like got euthanized because he got a fracture in his leg while she was running? Teo got 3. 3 fractures! 3 fractures. But guess what? Teo, the best to ever do it, came back and won the Arimakinen after rehabilitating after the 3 fractures.
In real life. Let's
the
go!
best to ever do it. The best to ever do it. I love Tokoi Teo. She's so cute. And this is her over here with Rudolph. This is like her mentor, the girl she looks up to and wants to be like. And then we have Mejuro McQueen. She is a cutie. She's part of the very prestigious Mejuro family. So they're kind of like the royal family of racing. At Trayson, like all of them are really good. They have Mejuro Romanu, who won the Triple Crown. And McQueen kind of just feels a lot of pressure to be good and live up to her family's expectations and stuff. I'm gonna be so truthful with y'all. I'm gonna hold y'all's hand when I say this. I have not finished season 2.
Gasp.
I know. But I know everything that happens. So, yeah. Then we have Mihono Bourbon. She was my first ever 3-star in Global. And she's really cool. She's a freaking like cyborg. She's cool. She was called, she was called like the cyborg in real life because like his performance as a racehorse was so incredibly consistent. It was almost like robotic. Like he was just so good and so consistent that they called him a robot. Really cool. And her kind of little duo is taken up with Rice Shower. Rice Shower is kind of like one of like the fandom babies. Like everyone loves Rice Shower, and if you don't, then they'll take you out behind the shed and shoot you. She's so cute. In real life, a lot of people absolutely hated the real life Rice Shower because he would always swoop in at the last minute and win the race that the favorite was going to win. And so people were like, oh my god, Rice Shower keeps winning, why won't he let my favorite horse win? That kind of thing. And so in UMAMUSUME, she's seen as this kind of timid Uma who's like, I just want people to like me, but I guess I'll just like, there's nothing I can do about how people think of me, so I'll just act how they think of me, basically. Right? And in real life, Rice was also a victim of the sustained a fracture during a race and was euthanized on the track thing.
Dang.
So
It's always the good ones.
we're 2 for 2. But again, she gets to keep running and have fun with her friends.
It's like a
And here we have Team Cannabis. What do they even do? Team Cannabis is really nice. They're good. They're just not as show-stopping as like Spica or Rigel. Nice Nature is kind of the main one here. She's in both season 1, 2, and 3. She's one of Teo's main rivals, and then also we have little twin Turbo right here. She's a freaking menace. She runs sprint races. She's crazy. She has shark teeth. She's cool. And then in season 3, Nature kind of takes on a more like mentor figure to Kita-san, which I think is really cool. Oh my god, are y'all ready for peak? Are y'all ready for peak?
Yes.
Okay, this was the first ever Uma anime I ever watched, which you might be like, Annie, why didn't you start at season 1? Because my friend wanted me to watch this, so I did. So the main characters are Kita-san Black and Satono Diamond. I have her right here. So Kita-san just wants to be good, kind of basic motivations, and then Satono Diamond wants to break her family's curse of never winning a G1 race. So those are the main characters, and then we also have our cute little supporting cast all over. Oh my god. Like, actually the best to ever do it. I love Kita-san. So Kita-san is the main character of season 3. She's inspired by watching Teo and McQueen in season 2. If I go back to here, you can actually see little baby Kita-san in Daya right there. They're so cute. So they're like, again, I don't know how aging works in this freaking universe. It's so confusing because I don't know how they were little kids in that season and then they're adults or like teenagers here and everyone's the same age. I don't know. Basically, her story kind of revolves around her being past her peak and having to grapple with slowly getting worse over the course of her career and just being past her prime because she's so used to being this super talented, super amazing horse girl who can do anything, and then she just starts. Is that a cow? What's the
Yeah.
And then she has to start grappling with not being the best anymore, which I think is a really unique take for a sports anime. And she's my best friend's favorite character, so she has a special little place in my heart. And then we have, so Satono Diamond, again, our little friend right here. She's a deuteragonist, and she's trying to break the Satono jinx. So for years and years, the family of Satono has not been able to win a G1 race, and Daya is like, I'm going to be the one to do it. And she does, spoiler alert, sorry. But she does, and she's childhood friends with Kita-san. They're roommates. They sleep with plushies of one another. They are so cute. I love them so much. And then we have Duramente. So this is Kita-san's kind of main rival in the traditional sense. She's like, there's no like antagonists or villains in Uma, but I guess she would be Kita-san's because like she keeps stealing Kita-san's races in the early season. She gets 2 crowns of the Triple Crown, but then has to drop out because of an injury, and that's what leads Kita-san to kind of go on her hot streak. Yeah, she is really cutie. I love her so much. Guys, this is my favorite Uma of all time. I gotta gather myself. Okay. I saw this little lesbian on my screen for the first time, and I knew that she was going to change lives. And she did. She really did. So she's been living, this is Cheval Grand. She's been living in Kita's Lone Shadows her whole career, and she is the only Uma to have an on-screen love confession. She is the one and only. I have like 7 slides later on about how lesbian these horses are. We'll get there. But yeah, she's my favorite Uma. Yeah, she's just really cool, and I love her. Our young heads are more pink. Oh my god. So this is kind of like a weird outlier season. It doesn't fit in with those main 3 seasons. It's kind of like a prequel if I had to define it as anything. It's set in the 80s. This is Cinderella Grey. It follows Ogre Cat, also known as the Action Beast or the Grey Monster of Kasamatsu. She was really dominant in the late 80s, early 90s. This is the most like sports anime of all of the seasons. So if you're looking for something that you can kind of get into very easily with no prior knowledge, I'd recommend you watching this first, because it's really good. It has that typical sports anime formula. I would recommend this out of any Uma media for someone first getting into the franchise, if you are interested in watching or interacting with it. So again, this is Ogre. Cinderella Grey is based on a manga. The manga is there on the bottom, some of the manga covers. It has kind of a dark, grittier feel than some of the other mangas that have been put out. So she is from Kasamatsu, which is kind of like defined as like the sticks. Like, not great facilities for racing. There's no trainers there. It's kind of like, well, if you're here, then sorry, you're not making it any further. But Ogre gets scouted because she's doing really well. She goes to Tracen and basically dominates all of the Twinkle series. So yeah. Belno! So this is Belno. She is Ogre's best friend who came with her to Tracen from Kasamatsu. She is like the only on-screen horse we see that does something other than racing. So she goes to Tracen to go into like the trainer course where she can help other Umas train, which I think is really unique because, again, we never see any other character do anything other than race. So I think it's really unique to show different perspectives as to what other things Umas can do in this universe. She doesn't really have an in real life counterpart. So Cinderella Grey is really unique because there are a lot of supporting characters that, while they have an in real life counterpart, Cygames was not able to get the rights to them, so they kind of made OCs based on those real life horses with little tweaks to their name. I don't know, like, if Belno is based off a real horse, I don't remember the real horse's name, but like, to my knowledge, she, like, Belno Light is not a real life horse. The name is not attributed to a real life horse. This is Kamamo Cross. She's a little gremlin, I love her. She is Ogre's main rival. She's known as White Lightning. She kind of comes in during the second cur of Cinderella Grey. She's really cool. She has this great scene where she's like doing pull-ups and you can see all the muscles in her back, and it's really cool. Yeah, she's really cool. This is Obey Your Master. She is one of the horses that, like I mentioned, is based on a real-life horse. The real-life horse is named Pay the Butler, but they couldn't get the rights to Pay the Butler because he was an American horse. Most like overseas horses, they don't really mess with the rights to. They don't want to try to get the rights, whatever. So they made Obey Your Master as like an OC of Pay the Butler, basically. She is one of the first American horses to win the Japan Cup, which is like the big race in Japan where all international horses can come and race.
I found her design really funny, just because the American horse, you got cowboy boots, the American flag on her leg.
Oh, and don't forget the bandana on the arm, of course.
Oh yeah.
And I think one of the first scenes she's in Cinderella Grey is her eating a burger. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yes.
And she like has this whole kind of like, it's not split personality because she's faking it, but like she puts on this really like peppy personality as like a mask, and then during the race she freaking locks in and she's like, this has all been a front this whole time to throw everyone off my trail, and now I'm gonna win, and it's so cool. These are all the supporting characters of Cinderella Grey. Cinderella Grey has a huge supporting cast. So we have Meijiro Arden and Ari1, Fujimasa March, Super Pretty Fiona Muteki, Gold City. These are all of the overseas horses that come to run in the Japan Cup. We have Victor Striker, who's really cool, and then we have Oguri's friends from Kasamatsu, from her school at Kasamatsu. Yeah, Singray has a really big and really cool supporting cast that I really enjoy. Okay, so this damn OVA, this is Road to the Top. It centers around Road to the Top Road, Admire Vega, who's called Ayabe, and TM Opera, oh my goat. These three were active around the turn of the century. And I have kind of mixed feelings about this OVA because of a certain character who you will get to know my feelings about in a moment. But before that, we have Road to Top Road. Top Road is just really cutesy. I love her design. She's just kind of like a girl's girl. She's really down to earth. She just wants to win in order to like make the people around her happy. She knows that people have a lot of expectations of her, and she just wants to make everyone proud and happy. And yeah, and she's so cute. Okay, guys.
Oh no.
This is the one Uma that I genuinely despise.
Oh,
Because she has a stupid backstory, and I will stand on that.
Oh. Right.
So, she ate her twin sister in the womb. And now she has survivor's guilt about it, and like thinks that her sister wanted to race. And she's like, I stole racing from you. Bro, she was a fetus.
Y'all were in every. Her mom pointed at her brain. You had a sister.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
why would you do that to your kid?
She didn't even know that she ate her sister until she was like 7, and her mom told her, and she's like, you ate your sister in the womb. And they have 2 birthday cakes in every birthday. I'm being so dead ass. I'm being so dead ass. They celebrate the dead sister's birthday. And she has like visions of her fake dead sister like running with her. Guys.
What is happening?
Right
now.
Guys. And then there's like an event in the game where she goes up to Ines Fujin, and Ines Fujin in the game has like a blood sister, and the name of the event is Treasure Your Sisters, because she goes up to Ines Fujin, and Fujin is like, oh yeah, like I went and like did something really fun with my sister the other day, and Ayabe is like, treasure your sisters, you'll never know when you won't have one. And you're like, Ayabe!
That's a threat.
So, it's safe to say I don't like this horse. She has an absolutely stunning design. She's beautiful. She is one of my favorite designs in the series. But she's just like that. And also, she is a asshole to Curran-chan. The most lovable Uma ever. This is her roommate Curran, and Curran does nothing but nice things for her, and Aibe is just constantly rude to her. Okay, rant over. Sorry. Because now we can go on to my goat. The Centurial Overlord, the Overlord of Century's End, TM Opera. Oh, she runs purely because she thinks it's her destiny, and she thinks that it's written in the stars for her to win. She's just so cool, and I love her so much, and I just like, oh, she's so awesome. I love her. Yeah. Like, she's in this OVA as well as the movie, and she serves in both of them. These are the other supporting characters. I have Meisho Dodo on my shirt, because she's one of my faves. And then, of course, Curran-chan, who is Aibe's roommate that she, like, abuses verbally all the time. Justice for Curran, please. And also Meisho Dodo, again. Yeah. Okay. It's just peak after peak. So this is the movie that actually had a theatrical release in the States last month. Well, in February. I went to go see it. The room was full of sweaty Discord mods. I could not get the smell out of my nostrils.
Oh,
But the movie was peak, so it's okay. So beginning of a new era follows the career of Jungle Pocket, who is this little lady right here. She wants to become the strongest UMAMUSUME ever. Her main rival is Agnes Tachyon, who's right here. You might have seen her. She's another one of the really popular UMAs that have kind of like reached containment of the fandom. Yeah, she there is something wrong with her. And Tachyon basically wants to find like the physical limit of an UMAMUSUME's strength. So she's like putting on a bunch of experiments and stuff. She's a character for sure. This is Poke. She's really spunky and headstrong. She wants to become the strongest. But she keeps getting thwarted by Tachyon at every turn, and it is really kind of starts to weigh down on her mental state. She starts like seeing her evil alter in her brain. And she has like imposter syndrome about how like Tachyon's the strongest, so why am I here? And then we have Tachyon. So she is studying the physical limits of UMAMUSUME. About halfway through the movie, while she's on this like crazy winning streak, she randomly just decides to go on hiatus. It's because she has an injury in her leg, but it totally throws everyone for a loop because she is literally running so hard to find the physical limit of an UMAMUSUME's running that she basically like shatters her leg, essentially. Wow. And so she goes on hiatus and she throws Poke all out of whack because Poke is like, well, we were supposed to figure out who's the strongest between the two of us, and now it's unfinished because they couldn't face off at their final race or whatever. Yeah, she's freaking crazy and has crazy Yuri with Poke. Yeah. Yes! Okay, so these are the other three major supporting characters. We have Manhattan Cafe, who is like Tachyon's friend. She kind of hangs out with Tachyon a lot. We have Dansu Flame, who is one of my favorite characters. Dude, oh my god, you got her! Oh my god, I have her too! I got her the other day. Dansu Flame is probably my second favorite Uma, if not like on the same level as Cheval. I think they kind of share the same spot in my brain because like I could never love one more than the other. I love them both so much. And then we have Fuji Kiseki, Boobs McGee over here. She runs with her boobs out. Because again, there is nothing I can do about the sun. And Poke kind of figured out that she wanted to race by seeing Fuji race for the first time. And yeah, beginning of a new era is, I have seen it 7 times at this point. I watch it so much, very often. I watched it again on Monday with my girlfriend, because it's peak. It's awesome. And then we're kind of getting into the more like obscure medias. So this is one of the mangas. This is Star Blossom. I personally have not read it, so my friend provided all this for me. Star Blossom is the main currently running Uma manga with Sid Gray's recent end. It follows Sakura Laurel, who's right here, whose dream is to win the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe in France, which again is like the race to end all races. And secondary characters include those from Around the World Generation, Narita Bryan, who's right here, Mayano Top Gun, and Samson Big.
Okay, so yeah, it is Top Gun.
Oh, I see the poster now.
Yeah.
So that is an official Top Gun poster that was released in Japan for the promotion of the more recent Top Gun movie. That is an official poster. Because people in Japan already know UMAMUSUME, but they might not be as familiar with Top Gun. So they used Mayano Top Gun to market Top Gun Maverick.
That's so funny.
I love that.
That is so funny.
And she's named after the movie.
So it makes sense.
Yeah. So Mayano Top Gun was used to market Top Gun Maverick on screen.
Basically just learning more about UMAMUSUME lore when they watch the movie.
Exactly.
Cash grab.
Exactly.
There you go.
I absolutely love the art style for Star Blossom. I really need to sit down and read it. Like so bad because the art style is just so amazing. Oh, it's peak. Here are some other UMAMUSUME properties that are like still in the universe but aren't kind of so mainstream. So these three right here are like chibi animes, kind of like spin-off chibi animes that are just like for fun, like a comedy anime. This is the first ever manga they made. It's about Haru Urara, but it's like very different from her current like character. I think this was just kind of them trying to find their footing, trying to figure out what they wanted to do. Cause like her characterization is very different. She like has a romance with like a middle-aged man in it.
No.
So yeah, they kind of like pivoted like real hard from that.
Okay.
And then we have Party Dash, which is a party game, like a team-based party game.
Very good.
It is $45. It is not worth $45. I bought it for like $13 on sale.
Good.
Is that like Puyo Puyo Tetris little dude?
Which one?
He's a purple little circle dude.
Oh,
I see
and
it.
that's
Oh,
Like
there.
Puyo, it's like it makes me think of the Puyo Puyo.
Maybe?
That's what- I don't know
I
if
don't know, man.
have you not played it? I don't know if they have Puyo Puyo in that game or
I
not.
don't know.
Just
Well,
makes me think of that.
I have it, but I played it for like 15 minutes because I like lost my first thing and then I got mad and I lost the game.
That's fair.
We have Starting Gate. I really don't know what Starting Gate is about. I'm gonna be honest, my friends told me to put it on here. And then we have this manga about Goldship as a kindergartner, and it's really, really funny. Yeah.
You would need a gun.
Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes section about UMAMUSUME as a queer art, as a queer media, because it is inherently queer, no matter which way you cut it, because 99% of the cast are female characters. So, like, literally there are only, like, maybe 5 male characters in the whole series, and they're all trainers.
Good.
So, and UMAMUSUME is an inherently sapphic media. Umas are suggested to be and are written as inherently queer. Like, Special Week has 2 moms. Uma's, like, freaking serious flirt with you regardless of your gender in the game. And there is one scene where an Uma directly confesses her love to another Uma in season 3. Well, Annie, they're just really good friends. They're just best friends, and they're just like girlfriends, but on the platonic sense. May I present to you the rival allegory, but also this picture from the most recent JP event of Bakshin literally proposing to Northlight. Yeah. So, the rival allegory. Basically, in Uma, if an Uma calls another Uma her rival, it's an allegory for romantic feelings. So the most in-your-face example of this is the rivalry between Daya and Kita in season 3. They go on a vacation together to affirm their rivalry and watch a sunset together while they vow to be each other's rivals. So like, it's like some sort of heated rivalry. So if you hear the word rival, there's some sort of kind of crush or romance going on. It's a whole thing. Here are some examples of some rivals in Uma. Of course, we have Poke and Tachyon. We have Daiwa and Vodka. We have Cheval and Kita, Ogre and March, Alpe Dodo, whatever the hell Sirius has going on with everyone. And then Versina and Madonna down here. This is just like a very small handful of like the rivalries. They've got like, Kita-san has like 4 girlfriends at this point. Ogre has like 7. It's a whole thing.
Good for them.
Okay. I need to make a tangent about Agnes Digital because she's awesome and she's a Hamajoshi. Basically, she exists just to ship the other Umas together. I am not kidding. She canonically writes fanfiction about her classmates.
This is so happy.
Yes,
That's
I
so cute.
There is a chibi short in one of those little chibi comedy animes where
much juicy.
she is like walking around in like her like little fantasy world. She's like a princess, and all of the Umas with Simbali in their name, so Simbali Rudolph, Simbali Sirius, and Simbali Chris S, like try to like propose to her as like princes. And I'm not exaggerating in the slightest.
That's so bad. That sounds
It's so good. And she's just like, if you weren't already convinced, she is literally shipping her classmates together. Like, she has dialogue in-game where she's like, oh my gosh, Opera just took Dodo's hand and is leading her out to the track. I shouldn't be watching this. Like, girl, you're so mean. Yeah, I just needed to have a tangent about her because she's awesome. Okay.
Oh.
So this was in like the first official trailer for UMAMUSUME. This is Symboli Rudolph and Ogre Cap. They're ice skating. Talk about some Yuri on ice. So this happened, like, they don't actually kiss, but it looks like it, because Rudolph is, like, dipping her, and the light kind of goes behind them, so there's, like, a glare behind them, so you can't really see what's going on. And Rudolph and Ogre's actual owners, who own the rights to them, got so mad at this, that they were like, if you pull something this explicit again, we are, like, yanking our rights back. So I think that's why they've been a little bit more, they're not kissing while ice skating anymore, but I mean, like, Agnes did still exist. So I just feel like I needed to add that. Okay, so this is the scene where Cheval Grand professes her love to Kita-san Black. This scene is so important to me. She says, well, first she says, Kita-san Black, I hate you. Okay. She says, because you were there, I made it to today without giving up. Kita-san Black, the truth is, I've always loved you. Wow. It's so pink. And this is one of the reasons why Cheval is one of my favorites, because she's just, y'all.
Collapsing.
It's also, okay, Uma is also what I believe is a really good way of representing disability. Because disability is not shown as something that is, like, obviously it's bad if you hurt your leg and you can't race, because that's kind of all you're going to school for. But at the end of the day, they have some really good health care that can help you rehabilitate, and they don't see it as a bad thing. They're like, oh, it's okay. You're just gonna, like, we'll get through this. It's not seen as something that will, like, be a useless weight, or if someone is permanently injured, they're not like, oh, you can't do anything anymore, you're useless. It's never like that. Because as we can see here, we have Sugar Lights, who is canonically a wheelchair user. I don't remember all of her story, but she, like, works at Trayson. She helps train other Umas, so, like, there is still an avenue for her to go down.
Nice.
Even though she has a disability, which I think is really cool, because it is a society where you would think disabled people would be at a disadvantage because it's so focused around racing and the ability to race, but through the existence of people like Sugar Lights and disabled Umas who keep running, it shows that, like, it's not like that. Like, it's not like they're, like, deemed useless or anything, which I think is really cool. And again, disability is really normal in UMA, which I think is cool. It's just a normalized thing, it's a part of life, which I think is cool. Here are several characters that have, like, disabled representation. So Ogre and Laurel were both born with, people call them glass legs, like really weak legs. Ogre was never thought to even be able to walk when she was little, and now she's running. Same thing with Laurel. So they've grown, they still have some weakness in their legs, but they're able to keep going and keep running. And then Tachyon, of course, gets injured in her movie. She's injured for the majority of the movie, but she's still able to go on with her experiments and observe other Umas while she's injured. And then Kita-san Black just kind of, my friend was like telling me, because my friend is the Kita-san Black CEO, and they were telling me how I should put this, but now I forget. But like I said earlier, she kind of gets like past her peak in her anime, and she just has to kind of grapple with the fact that she's not as well abled as she was before, which I think is a cool way to kind of dissect like a chronic illness or something like that, where like you're just not as good as you were before. Like my friend who is the Keystone Black CEO used to be really good at sports, but then their chronic illness just kind of kept developing, and now they can't walk without a cane anymore.
Wow.
So they see themselves in Kita-san in that instance, and so like if they can see themselves in Kita-san, I'm sure so many people can see themselves in other Umas, which I think is really cool and heartwarming. So yeah. And then there's also Umas with mental illnesses as well.
Every single one.
Yeah, well, every single one, because they're all like autistic and gay. But wait a minute.
Started over 50, including Saturday night.
These are just like 4 of them that I kind of picked out. So Dodo has some sort of anxiety disorder, or at least like, yeah. And of course, none of this is like ever explicitly told to the viewer.
Just how they act.
Yes, it's show don't tell. Because I mean, I don't think it would be a good anime if Mr. Dodo turned to the camera and was like, I have anxiety.
We can tell them.
I have generalized anxiety disorder. This means.
And I take Lexapro. Like, no. A lot of people headcanon opera to have some sort of like narcissistic personality disorder, which I think is interesting.
Why is
Manhattan Cafe?
Manhattan Cafe is basically schizophrenic. She sees like, she has like an imaginary friend that she's constantly running after in the anime. And then Still in Love canonically has DID. She has like an altar that switches in whenever she's racing. Which is like, obviously again, she's not looking at the camera and saying, I have dissociative like identity disorder. But it's like kind of the best way to describe what is happening, you know? Like,
That's how you approach it in real life.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, again, there's plenty more other than just these 4 and the ones I had on the other slide, but
I have a question.
yes.
Which one has ADHD? I need to know.
All of them.
Okay.
Like all of them. I actually think Jungle Pocket from Beginning of a New Era is a pretty good example of ADHD. She's just like after a race, she stops, so she like keeps like running in place, like stimming kind of. I mean, I'm sure you could find little bits of ADHD in any Uma.
I legit want to try watching one of the things now. Like, where can I find it? Crunchyroll?
I think Cinderella Grey's on Crunchyroll. I pirate all yes! So like if you want, like I could send y'all like a Google Doc with like links to like season 1, 2, 3, Cinderella Grey.
Oh nice, I love that.
Stuff. Yeah. Like I'll send it to the Fan-mont server if y'all want. Yeah.
Please.
We do want.
We do want.
Yay. Okay, kind of back to being a Debbie Downer. Unfortunately,
oh no.
I do want to talk about kind of the not great realities of horse racing because, like, I don't want to sit here and tell y'all that it's all sunshine and rainbows because it is not. Horse racing is a very abusive, like, industry. Like, there are horses being abused every day in this industry, and the only way that we can stop it is to like tell people about it and bring awareness to it. So horse racing is inherently incredibly controversial because at the end of the day, you are putting this animal into a lot of physical stress and strain, and they're getting injured every day. And like I said before, with horses like Saotsuka and Reichauer, they're being euthanized over this, over how hard they're being run. Japan is honestly one of the more ethical countries about horse racing. Like, comparing it to America's horse racing is like apples and oranges. Like, it is completely different. Like, it is, America has a really bad racing industry compared to Japan.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who, like, her family raises horses, and also living around here and being around Franklin, walking horse territory, and learning about how brutal that was on the horses.
So like not even just horse racing, like rodeo horses, like horses that are used to train kids, like just
There's just normal
Just
people.
horses.
normal horses in general are being abused every day.
Yeah. There's this lady on TikTok who's like, I have a 3-legged horse. And everyone's like, babes, that horse does not like life.
Wait, that's so weird. I know.
Girl.
Oh.
Poor horses deserve better.
Right.
I love that.
Several horses in UMAMUSUME have suffered tragic ends in real life, but instead of cutting their story off, they are able to recover in UMA and go on to race with their friends and be happy. Like at the end of the movie that Tachyon is in, she ends up recovering from her injury and gets to go run with her friends. We see her going back to the track and continuing to run, which is really nice. So here is a list of a lot of UMAs that have unfortunately not had great endings. So we already talked about Suzuka and Rice. Dansu Flame did technically have a decently long life, but he was neglected later in life, caught pneumonia, which is completely avoidable because he was being used as a training horse and unfortunately passed away of pneumonia.
Oh my god.
Aston Machon, I can't remember exactly what he died from. Do you remember?
I don't remember. I just know it was sudden.
Like it might have been like a heart attack or something.
Oh.
He died from a heart attack. Like she was supposed to be like a trio along with Daiwa Scarlet and Vodka. Like they were supposed to be like the most dominant mares of their generation. Then Aston Machon passed away.
Wow.
Sirius Simbali was basically run to death. He passed away of exhaustion, I believe.
Wow.
Because they sent him. He was in the generation of like when they were first trying overseas races, when they were trying to see how Japan would fare overseas, and he was the guinea pig basically. They sent him overseas, made him run all these races in rapid succession. Then they brought him back home, and he immediately was sent into racing again with like no downtime.
Oh.
And so he was basically worked to death, unfortunately. KS Miracle was like genuinely abused from day one. Like he was not really given a chance at all. They were like, we just want to make the perfect racehorse and we don't care what happens to him. And he also collapsed like on the track during a race.
Rose career is like heartbreaking.
No,
Like
yeah.
if you mess up, it's just over.
It's
It ends
over.
right
It's
there.
over. KS Miracle was the first UMA I pulled on JP.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to like make him do anything. Can I just like hold him in my little hands? Rhinecraft, Rhinecraft's death is referenced in her story in the career. So Rhinecraft was a mare who died of heart failure like when she was 3 or 4, I think. So like decently early on in her career. And in UMA, Rhinecraft goes into a coma. Like canonically goes into a coma, and like her friends, I think she's friends with KS Miracle. Like they're all like sitting around her like day and night, and they're just like, please wake up, like please we want to run with you again. Like we want to see you back out on the track. Like it's like we just want you to be able to run with your friends again. And she ends up waking up, thank God. Because I think this would be a very different franchise if she didn't. And then Samson's Big is kind of confusing. So we don't really know a lot about real life Samson Big because he ran in like 2 races and then he literally disappeared. We don't know if he's alive or dead in real life. We do not know where Samson Big is. Like he literally just fell off the face of the earth.
How does that happen?
Right? Like how do you lose a horse?
I was like, it's a horse.
Right?
Well, her boyfriend was in the house.
So yeah,
That's again.
I just like telling people about
This is
them
the
because
official
like
confirmation that they're
the
wrong.
more people know about what's wrong with the industry, the more people can change it, basically.
No, because this is so cute. This gives the horses a second chance.
Exactly, and that's what I love so much about it. Like I saw this really cute comic a couple months ago of like real life horse Silent Suzuka in heaven. and then he like sees like a bright light, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And he walks into it, and he comes out on the other side as UMAMUSUME, and he's like, "Oh, I'm being given like a second chance."
I can't handle this right now.
Oh my god, so literally, it's like, it's just so heartwarming. And again, like I've been saying, my hope is that with the popularity of UMA, it has brought more eyes onto actual racehorsing too. Like I've been watching more races and stuff.
I'm sorry, that process so
Like to hear.
No, you were so good.
I sit down and watch it.
Horse racing.
It took me so long. I'm sorry. You tried really hard. I didn't mean to call you out either.
No, you're so good. So my hope is that with more eyes on horse racing, they improve it, like worldwide. But UMA fans have also already started improving things. The real life Meisho Dodo is still alive, and there was a fundraising campaign for his stable, and they completely smashed the fundraising goal to completely redo his stables and add like a treadmill that they can use to help the horses get more exercise, and like so it improves it not only for Meisho Dodo but also the other horses that are living at that farm. So like. And it was funded almost completely by UMAMUSUME fans. So like,
I love it.
and then there was another thing, I don't know if it has been successful, but there was another thing where they were calling on UMAMUSUME fans to help save this track and farm in Argentina, I believe, where they were going to like completely bulldoze this track and training facility and farm to make like space for like a subdivision or something. And so UMA fans are raising money for that. And yeah, moving on to kind of more very modern day, like literally within the past 3 months things. Sorry, water. My throat hurts.
It's okay.
So, Japanese horse Forever Young won the USA's Breeders' Cup last year. He's the first Japanese horse to ever win the big Breeders' Cup race. And he also won multiple races in the Middle East. He won the Saudi Cup. He won the Dubai Derby last year, I believe. He got second this year, just a couple weeks ago. And in February, we were given the UMA version of Forever Young. One of the only UMAs to be in game while still having a very active career, which is really cool because his story is kind of changing as it goes on. And also, Forever Young's owner has a share in side games. So she's a Nepo baby, like she's canonically a Nepo baby. There's this one sticker that people will put in like Instagram comments that's like, my daddy owns side games, and it's her, like the sticker. Yeah, and there are horse races almost every week in Japan if you know where to look, where to watch them. Like we are right on the cusp of the classic season. The Oka show is this Sunday, so that's the first leg of the Triple Tiara. Kentucky Derby is of course coming up in May. And yeah, if you want to get into UMAMUSUME in general, I cannot recommend the game or the anime enough. It is so good. It has changed my life for the better. It's just so amazing. And that's it. Yay! Thank you all so much for letting me yap about this.
That was so fun. This is so fun.
This is just like, I can't remember the last time I've been so into a media. Like I need it to be in every waking moment of my life. Like it's just so amazing.
Every new person.
Oh, that's so fun. I didn't know it was like actually connected to like a
I got mad at
horses too, which is like so.
It's
That's
so fun.
cool. That's
It's
such a
so
fun way
fun.
to do it.
Like, hold on, let me.
It's just so Did you see the missing personnel that just happened on Olivia's fan page?
This is like the full list
Oh my god.
of every single.
Oh my gosh.
That's a
Oh,
lot.
hello. This is drunk.
Oh, there's the puppet girl.
They just posted it.
Yes, Marsha Lorraine, where'd she go?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, well, Louis Partridge was in the
Oh,
House of
there he is.
Guinness movie last year.
Marsha Lorraine.